Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome all Hadith disciples, YouTubers, and viewers upon the Sunnah to another exclusive episode of F.M.F, 5 Minutes of Faidah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Oftentimes, we draw parallels. We make comparisons. We compare a da'wah, which is calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, propagating the religion of Islam, preaching and teaching, to other aspects of life, different fields of expertise, different professions. And one of them, which is considered to be one of our favorites, and one of the most comparable, is that of martial arts. It states right here on the second page of one of the many Hadith disciple training manuals, the 7 deadly mistakes most martial artists make. So right now we want to make a comparison between the da'iyah, the caller to Allah, and a martial artist. Number 1, fear. Never be afraid of injury or death. Number 2, pride. Be not boastful in your skills. Humility hides your true skill and can save your life. Number 3, fancy techniques. They get you killed and have no battlefield use whatsoever. Number 4, desire. Sex, money, and thirst for individual power can be used to trap you by your own habits. Number 5, anger. A short temper and rash action will get you killed. Number 6, not knowing the self. Not knowing your strengths and weaknesses can only weaken you even further. Number 7 is being technical. What happens to work in the dojo won't necessarily work on the battlefield. Last but not least, learning yourself, your strengths and weaknesses. Study your opponent, even as you fight them. For these are tactical weaknesses of the individual, but do not overlook them in yourself as you look for them in your opponent. Let's go back to the beginning. Number 1 is fear. If you're afraid to give da'wah, if you're afraid of being rejected, if you're afraid of being made fun of, if you're afraid of being envied, if you're afraid of losing friends, if you're afraid of what is out there, what is unknown to you, you can't go any further. Number 2, pride. How many of us have the disease and the sickness of pride? Whether it is feeling that people are lesser than you, holding them in contempt, or feeling I'm too good to go to this place, I'm too good to teach these people, I'm too good to explain myself, I'm too good to take this person as my student, and the list goes on. It will destroy you, it will destroy your da'wah, and it will destroy any aspiration that you have of actually spreading and disseminating beneficial knowledge. Number 3, fancy techniques. Studying theoretically. You learn in a class, you read in a book, you heard in a lecture, you graduate from this school, but does it work on the battlefield, quote unquote? Does it work on the street? Does it work in the masjid? Does it work with the people's problems in 2017 in Canada, in the United Kingdom, in the United States? Does it work in the everyday life of the layman Muslim, or is it something that's totally theoretical? Number 4, desire. How many of us have problems with regards to greed, thirst for power, control? Our sexual desires, they destroy us, they ruin us. And oftentimes we're controlled by our low base hunger for these things, which are oftentimes haram. And if they aren't haram, they will clearly lead you to doing that which is haram, or taking a position because of your desire, because of your power, and because of your thirst. Number 5, anger, a short temper. Anytime someone can push your button, anytime someone can scratch your hand, anyone someone can say something about you, you become angry, you become infuriated, you explode with rage and this wild, mad fit, and then you say things which are wrong. You do things which are irrational. It is a major weakness in the caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the martial artist. Number 6 is not knowing the self, not knowing your own strengths and your own weaknesses, whether it's a lack of self-esteem, whether it's a lack of confidence, whether it's being afraid because you don't think that you can do something when you actually can, whether it is thinking that you know something and you've mastered something that in actuality you really have not. Last but not least is being technical, being too robotic, being too stiff, and not being fluid in your movements, not having the fluidity in how you speak and how you talk and how you teach. Last but not least, when you look for these points in your opponent in a debate, or the one that you're trying to call the people away from, or what you're trying to call them away from, do not forget about yourself, your own weaknesses, your own shortcomings, your own pressure points. Allah Azza wa Jalla truly knows best. Until the next episode, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.